You know, a lot of times I talk about, you know, how to really be able to communicate with folks. I often talk about 5 questions. I often talk about the ability to get the right mindset if you're going to show up for work every day and become that entrepreneur that's going to really create that generational wealth. Well, today, and it's been a while, I have my brother, partner, and mentor that taught me this whole game through his formula of all formulas. What's up, Sean? How you doing? Love you more. I got with me Sean Callagy, founder of Unblinded.
Wait, I get to be in a Rob Gill video?
Yes. Yes, you get to tell everybody what you taught me. Yeah, so, you know, Sean's here with us today, and everybody just take a step back, grab a pen and piece of paper, because he's gonna get into not only influence and the communication of influence, but really how you could take your business to the next level. So Sean, we know that in 2022, the market was up here. We now know inflation came into a recession. Interest rates have gone up 250 basis points. For all intents and purposes, Bitcoin, real estate have the bed, dropped like a rock, right? The market itself dropped, now making a correction. I think your teachings, your brain mindset, motivation, maybe not the right word, but map on how to really go hello to yes in anything in anybody's life is incredible. And I would love for these folks to know that.
No, thank you, brother. So, yeah, I think, first I'm grateful to be here. It's always super fun. And the concept of abundance is rooted in the idea of fear, which drives us. But it's a question of what you do fear. I think that's the first place to start for anything. So, like, to contextualize this, meaning to create like the frame of what are we even talking about? We're talking about how we create the life we want. I think it breaks down into 3 very simple categories. Einstein said, make it as simple as possible, not simpler. The money we want, the time we want, the magic we want. When I was 27 years old and knew I was on the way to going blind, I had asked myself the question of like, how do you actually figure all this out? And there's such a massive information in the world. How does that actually become usable?
Work hard, be a good person, you know, cliches from early to bed, early to rise, like all this stuff.
I'm not saying it's true or not true, but how does it actually get organized? You know, if you want to get into better shape, win a triathlon, there's a roadmap of exactly what you do. So I set a course of what's that roadmap. And you're like, oh yeah, like there's a lot of books on mindset and a lot of things on mindset, but how do you actualize it and live it? Like, great. No questions.
So, and these are questions you ask yourself over and over again, or just when you were 27?
These are questions I asked myself then.
Yeah.
And then I created a map and a formula.
Yeah.
And now I continue to innovate and optimize, but narrowly, not widely. Like not horizontal, like I'm not, oh, this is a new book, this is a new thing. No, very simply, for example, cortisol is the drug of destruction for existence. So how do we deal with cortisol? Like that doesn't change. So there might be some micro distinctions around how you differentiate what you do with cortisol. And what does that mean? It means when the market drops, fear rises, cortisol gets shot in the system, we go to fight or flight, we take actions, selling, managing, leading, recruiting, fundraising, all of it. So fundamentally, intentionality is the key. No intention equals destruction.
So when you say cortisol, for the folks that are out there, when all of a sudden cortisol hits them and they don't have proper planning, they're exposed to what they see on TV, what the neighbor says, what the other person down the hall says, and they find themselves looking for an answer that's gonna confirm to run, sell, and hide. Is that kind of what happens?
Yes, sir.
Got it.
Cortisol produces fight or flight. So you're gonna have a fight with somebody, overreact, have a dynamic, or we're gonna run. We're gonna become immobilized with fear and just move away from the situation, and that's never the right outcome. So how we deal with that is at a core of my life's work. But here's the question is, how often can you get yourself to do that which you want to get yourself to do? That's what self-mastery is. So self-mastery, very simply, because again, Einstein, simple as possible, not simpler. Self-mastery is the ability to get yourself to take the actions you previously determined will be optimal for you.
Like I'm 2 years old, say that again.
Yeah, so you make a plan and decide you're gonna work out, you're gonna make a certain number of sales calls, you're gonna confront something with somebody you're managing or leading, you're gonna have a more healthy conversation with your significant other, your children, some of your family. You set out these plans and constructs, right? These ideas, these things you're gonna create. Then things happen.
Life.
Right? Somebody says something disrespectful, a server, somebody cuts you off, somebody honks the horn, or you're making a sales call and somebody who said they were gonna say yes, says no.
Yes, that happens.
They don't pick up the phone, they miss the appointment. So all of a sudden, cortisol. So what the dynamic is, the key outcome for this video is, what do you do to manage cortisol production in your system, right? So what you do, and most people never do this.
They don't even know it.
Is how you use your body physically. And of course, foundationally, one of my great teachers and mentors, Tony Robbins, teaches so much about this. But one of the things I know, I'm friends with so many people, super high up in the Tony world, that I have the privilege of going to his house and being a lion, platinum partner in that organization, is how often do you do the things? And so can I do a little demo?
Yes, please.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'm getting ready to go and I'll just start moving, right? I'll start moving my body a little bit. That's not enough either. That's just getting warmed up though. You can feel a certain level of stimulant, right? And then you just start making moves. I'll be like, yes, 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 yes. All of a sudden, endorphins are produced, maybe a dab of adrenaline, dopamine hits happens, cortisol suppressed, right? I'll do body weight squats all day long. I'll be doing body weight squats in the hotel room. I'll be making sure endorphins are produced. I'll start jumping back and forth and this, engage every single part of my body. I'll do that every time I'm encountering people seeking yes.
So that you don't just do that as a ritual when you're speaking on stage, even in the internal team in your world, you have your group meetings, you have this, you have some challenges that are going on that day that you didn't expect.
I will produce.
That's amazing.
The answers, yes.
That's amazing.
All day, every day, because what the enemy of your money, time, and magic is cortisol. Because that's what drives your fear response. If you defeat cortisol, you change every ability you have to follow through and take action.
So cortisol and defeating it, Sean, it's almost like a recovering alcoholic one day at a time. That's what I am. I'm only allowed to defeat it one day at a time. There's no graduation. And to your point, I get stuck in cortisol zone. Sometimes I get stuck there comfortably for 3 or 4 days. Right? But here's the thing though, so the business owner, check it out, because I am you, right? I sometimes get momentum and sometimes I subconsciously don't think I deserve it, right? Cortisol kicks in. I embrace cortisol. I like to stay in the path where I get stuck on stupid. And in that space, the quicker I get out of that, the quicker my base camp increase is gonna happen, and not make the same mistake to the same degree over and over again, maybe make it less and less. And that's just mastery, self-mastery.
But one of the biggest mistakes that people make, and I think sometimes I've worked with clients that have had anger problems, and they will avoid anger. Do not avoid anger.
But still not embrace, they avoid it and don't deal with it and confront it properly, and then the explosion happens as a result of. Is that fair?
Yes, and there's an incredible teacher, Dr. Hawkins, wrote a book, Power versus Force. One of the incredibly well respected by many. He's a kinesiologist. And so he actually ranked the states of emotion.
Wow.
Through kinesiology. And in his kinesiology studies, when we are hopeless, sad, depressed, those states vibrate lower than anger. So anger can be a ladder step out of hopelessness, despair, sadness, loss of faith. Anger can help us step up the ladder over those states to begin to get ourselves into action. Then, this is the beautiful conditioning trigger. I do use anger if I get down. I do use anger, but I use it for an unbelievably short period of time to then drop back into my heart, because the next level above anger is courage. And then as we continue to rise into love and peace and beautiful things and consciousness, but anger has a very useful place in mindset. And we have so many wonderful folks that get into sadness, depression, and I believe in prayer, I believe in God. They're gonna pray and meditate, and they're gonna have incense, and I don't make fun of any of those things. But if you don't have anger as a tool to move you into action and to have your power and strength present and available, whether you're man or woman, this isn't man conversation, woman conversation, everybody conversation. We do not have access to create the results we want. Anger is a step on the ladder to be moved out of rapidly to move into courage and love and heart. But we can't get to courage, love, and heart sometimes without stepping through anger.
Phenomenal. Right? And some of the folks out there may step into a space of anger and get the attention that they want. it's important that they have to know they have to move out of it really fast.
Yeah, like 90 seconds.
Yeah, like don't stay there because
not hurting anybody, scaring anybody.
Or just giving you attention that you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
A false sense of, right?
Yes.
Because you use it scientifically and strategically, which was tremendous. And by the way, if you want to check out Sean, he's all over social media. Sean Callagy, founder of Unblinded. Check him out on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. He's all over the place. Definitely get to know him. Watch his videos on YouTube. If you watch them, you'll get 45 minutes of him just coaching people on his legendary show, The Real Raw, but it's now called
The Heart of Influence.
The Heart of Influence. There's so much good content on there. I promise you, go to his YouTube page and check it out. Because if you want to be in YouTube University and you really want to learn stuff and you want to do it quietly in the back, go listen to what this brother's talking about on a daily basis. Because he just broke down some stuff to me in a way that I've never heard him break it down before. Incredible. And when he says the beginning, his tripartite division of the formula of all formula, which is process, self, and influence mastery, he just did self-mastery and did like the first strike of the first inning. Go ahead and click the link below. Add some comments. If you have more questions you have about what Sean even talked about today, please put in the questions. I'll make sure he gets them. Go check him out. Continue to follow and like and share. Thank you for being a part of this. This has been an honor for me, brother. Thank you so much. You dropped some knowledge.
It's an honor for us.
And thank you so much. And every day we're looking to bring in some more content, information, education. We're here to really sit down with you, no obligation, and be able to handle and answer any questions that you may have. Thank you so much.